What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Wind Down Wednesday edition of the Wrestling Junkies podcast. I'm Eric, Mr. Cincinnati Robinson. As always, I'm joined by the podcast dad himself, Chris Hoops. Hoops, how are you, man?
Hey, buddy.
How are you?
Cheers.
It's good to see you. It's good to see you. You okay?
Yeah, I have Gatorade today. Sorry.
That's fine. It's okay. I stayed true to the gimmick. At least one of us has to keep it authentic.
I'm still recovering from a sickness, so I don't want to hear it.
So you're not so much down with the thickness or sickness, I should say, anymore. I don't know why I said sickness, but I don't know why. Yeah. There's a story to that. I'll tell you off camera.
Okay, moving on from that one. That was
Gotta keep you
I
on your
don't.
toes, man. Gotta keep you on your toes.
I'm not worried about my toes around you now. maybe I don't. Maybe I don't come over on Friday. Maybe we just.
Whatever. That's okay. Okay, fine. All right, more smoked turkey breast for me then. Whatever.
No, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Yes. No, I am still actively recovering, so the doctor told me to stay away from alcohol. So I am staying away from alcohol for now. But
That's fair.
I'm still here. The essence is still here because I am wind down. I'm in my essentially PJs right now, so I don't just shut up.
I didn't say anything.
Stop commenting on my thickness.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, so thank you guys so much for checking out this episode of the Wrestling Junkies podcast. As always, hit that QR code, like, share, subscribe, and help us to run those numbers up. Support our store by buying a T-shirt, a mug, a hat, a beanie. Cool designs are coming. So we got some more stuff on the way. So we're pretty excited about that. Also, a special shout out to the following people that have joined us for interviews this week that'll be dropping on Friday. Thank you to Corey McGregor. Or not? No, Corey's this Sunday, so we'll see him next Sunday. But thank you to Jack Moody, Adam Bolt, Common MK, Aaron Rourke, and the Paragon. Cannot wait for you guys to check all of these out. We will be doing our official Elimination Chamber preview show tomorrow night at 6:30, our normal time, our show. Thank you to the World Elite Podcast for having us on last night. Got us in the mood for the show this weekend. I think that we're ready to break down these matches again, and we're going to have a lot of fun with it. So, yeah, make sure to join us. King Chris will be joining us, as well as Corey Brennan from Fightful.com. So it's going to be a really interesting conversation. Can't wait to yeah, right?
You can't wait.
We can. Yeah.
Lots of guests. Lots of guests. That's all right. That's all right. Hey,
all the guests.
That's okay. And I do have confirmation. You, everybody else will see him later, but you will see Johnny tomorrow. Ooh. I hope you're ready. He has really worked on it, and he's prepared for his wheel.
All right. Seriously, you have to stop that.
Did you? I don't.
I hear that in my sleep. Are you doing that with your toes?
Dude. Yeah. It's not my hands. I'm telling you. Johnny's here somewhere. Johnny's here.
There's a lot of people that pay to see you do that. Okay. All right. Okay, that's enough. Okay.
Was with my toes.
Anyway.
It's hard.
So we've got a great show for you tonight. We're going to talk a little bit of NXT, and then we also have a special guest. Barbie Boiii will be joining us to talk about the Alliance for All Wrestling show that's coming up on February 25th. It is the inaugural show of this promotion. I mean, what do we love to do here? We like to talk wrestling. We'd like to talk wrestling with wrestlers, so we get to accomplish both tonight.
Hey, that's my favorite thing that we do, and as much as I love talking to you, it'll be nice to talk to somebody else again.
Hurtful, but okay, I understand. I mean, but anyway, let's get right on into it. Yeah, I
still love you, no matter what, and your noise-canceling headphones.
You too. Okay. Yeah, they're AirPod Pros. Yeah.
Whoa.
Sorry. I know, right?
Might as well change your name to Mr. Cincinnati.
Mr. Texanati.
That was good.
Nah, not your best. Mine was better.
That wasn't any good either.
No, I think that mine was much better. But
should I change my name real quick as well? Go ahead and plug our socials. Did you already do that?
I do that as the episode goes on. Don't worry about it. Let's just talk NXT, okay? Are you ready to talk?
Yeah, I'm ready to talk. Let's talk.
All right, so No, it was a pretty average NXT that we saw last night, so we're not going to get into every single
Dude, that
match
episode
result.
sucked. Let's call it what it is. That episode
Yeah,
wasn't
it
any
wasn't great.
good.
It was like today. I was like, oh man, I'm sorry that I missed it, and I was trying to find the whole episode on either Spectrum or USA, and it wasn't uploaded yet. But Hulu always has the next days, but they're kind of condensed episodes, so they kind of leave a lot of stuff out. And this was a 1 hour. I think it's clocking at 1 hour as far as how many, as far as the actual show itself. And yeah, I could
It
have done
wasn't any
without
good.
that hour. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we got a pre-tape from Melo, we got a pre-tape from
Yes.
Ilja, we got no match from Braun. Like the stars weren't really there.
Yeah. Let's talk about. This is the big story everybody's talking about. Shotzi's gonna be out for 9 months with an ACL tear. Happened during a kind of a hangman spot where she jumps out to the outside. It's just one of those no contact injuries, and you see she goes down right away. This is terrible timing, and I mean this is not the first ACL injury we've had this year in WWE. It's becoming a bit of a concerning trend, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it kind of ebbs and flows. Maybe they need to look at something, but I don't know. It's Shotzi's kind of seemed like a freak thing. I've done that as well. Um, I was in practice when I tore mine. I just caught a ball and made a cut, and my knee popped. Like that kind of seems what happened here. She hopped over and it just popped. Like it was just a freak accident kind of thing. And like they say, it's not ballet. I saw she posted today. Surgery's done, so she's had successful surgery. She's already rehabbing. She'll come back. She'll be better than ever. Same thing with Charlotte. She'll come back, be better than ever. Injuries happen. It just,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if it's a trend. I just think it's two random injuries, and they just both happen to be ACLs.
Yeah, I mean, and especially in late 2022, early 2023, there was a lot of flack that WWE got as far as Performance Center and maybe training practices because there had been a number of ACL injuries, and interestingly enough, there were ACL injuries in women that were happening. I mean, we've seen Sol Ruca with hers. Nikita Lyons had to come back from one. Now we add Charlotte Flair to that list. We now add Shotzi to that list. Bailey's on that list. It's not anything that I'm going to ring the bells about just yet, but it's kind of I'm going to kind of side eye again. It kind of sucks.
Yeah, and maybe it is. Maybe it's a little overtraining or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Like I know they've toned down the house show schedule a little bit, so everybody's not working as much as they used to. Yeah, I don't know. I would chalk it up as just kind of a freak thing. Shit happens. It's wrestling.
Yeah.
Like I said, they'll come back. They'll be better than ever. It just sucks timing wise, like you said, for Shotzi, who, I mean, potentially was going to be in the chamber. Probably have a big spot in the chamber because she's nuts and will do anything. But yeah, it happens. She'll be back.
Yeah, for sure. I do want to pivot to how they handled the actual situation because this was the taping since they're going to be in Australia this week. Basically converting this to an open challenge and allowing somebody to come back out. Love that it was Lash Legend because she had a dominant win over Kalani Jordan earlier in the night. So, I mean, really a good way to make lemons out of lemonade in this situation. I think that this was the right way to do it. But the one thing I really enjoyed about that second match that Lyra was in is that they cut to a backstage scene where Roxanne's kind of finishing showering off after her match and sees that there's another opponent for Lyra right now and wondering what's going on, and she's told, oh yeah, well Shotzi went down, they had to do an open challenge, and she missed it and just slams the TV. I'm loving this edge that we're seeing out of Roxanne Perez right now because she very clearly wants back at the NXT title picture. Do you think that this is kind of the start of a heel turn for her, or is this just kind of just pent up frustration, would you say?
I'd probably say a heel turn. Kind of rounding out her character before she gets to the main roster. Like she's been babyface the entire time. So let's see this kind of darker side, edgier side before we get to the main roster. They seem to do that with NXT talent where we get both face and heel before they get up to that main roster. You look at a Braun, you look at a Carmelo, you look at an Ilja. Like they've all been both so far.
Yeah.
So I'm not mad at the heel turn. Like I like the heel turn, and I will say this one where she slammed the TV and everything. Like she looked like genuine. It didn't look like she was acting. Like we've kind of seen other performers do in the past. Like we can tell they're acting mad. Like she genuinely seemed mad, and that just goes to show you like how far she has come and just how good she really is. And when we talk about a prodigy, like she's gonna be really really good for a long time.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, and I can't wait to see kind of where this leads to next. I mean, it seems like Lyra Roxanne is going to be the stand and deliver program that we're going to get, and I'm definitely here for it.
Yep.
But there's one other thing that caught my eye this week is as far as the NXT Tag Team division, Gallows and Anderson finally have something to do.
Yep.
This is a good start. I mean, they haven't been used on SmackDown in ages, and now coming back to NXT, this is a good reset. We've seen how well this works for Baron Corbin. I mean, this has been a much better run than he's had in a long time as far as main roster. But you not look at me in that tone of voice.
I can't wait for the Gallows and Anderson versus Corbin. Like,
I can't tell if you're serious or not either. Okay.
I'm not.
No, okay,
I'm not.
Whatever. Well, I wish I just give me something to work with here.
I know. I would rather them just be used on the main roster. Add to that tag division. Like we just need the tag straps on separate brands. That's all it is. It's fine. I don't. It doesn't really move the needle for me right now. Because what was the main concern with the Dusty Classic? Do you remember what I said?
Single stars becoming tag teams.
Single stars, and now we have another main roster attraction down here to challenge for that are probably going to challenge for the tag team champions. You have to start building this NXT tag division if it's going to be any good. And I want to see established NXT tag teams. I don't want to see main roster tag teams anymore. I've seen that. We're good. I'm done. I want to see who's coming up. I want to see who are the future tag stars that we're going to see that catches our eyes, like a pretty deadly. Like they were an awesome tag team, and that was fun to see. But that's like the last great kind of NXT tag team I can remember.
I know, but look at it this way: do you really want to? Would you rather see Pretty Deadly go back to NXT and be the big fish in a small pond, or have a better shot at going for the main roster tag team titles compared to Gallows and Anderson, who have absolutely zero?
I'd rather see Pretty Deadly back in NXT.
Damn, didn't expect that answer. Okay.
Because realistically, how well are they being booked on the main roster right now?
The pre-tapes are funny. It's a good start. Let's get through. Again, let's get through Mania season here and see where it goes, because we know that British Strong Style is not walking out with the titles on Saturday, and it's likely going to be a reset after WrestleMania because Judgment Day is probably losing those titles to Awesome Truth, which would be the right call there, even though that match hasn't been booked yet, and you have to think that that's what's going to happen. So there are a couple of months we have to get through before we can kind of see whether they do decide to split these titles up again.
Exactly. So I'd rather have them back in NXT for the time being. That's why.
Or you could just wait, let them cook, let them do their pre-tapes, have them notch some wins in the tag team division to have a conversation about it.
And that's fine, but they're not notching any wins anytime soon. When was the last time Pretty Deadly won?
I don't know.
Exactly. Like, if you were going to bring a team back down, like the scenario you just gave me, I would rather see Pretty Deadly. That's my opinion. Because, yes, the pre-tapes are fantastic. They could also do that down in NXT.
So, what, if anything, what do you want to see with Gallows and Anderson? Or is this a you want them to go away kind of thing?
No, I want AJ, Mia Yim, Gallows and Anderson on the main roster, healing it up. That's what I want.
Well, this is a good start to at least get them there, because AJ Styles...
But is AJ Styles going to come down to NXT?
He might. He has once.
He's not coming down to NXT.
You don't know that?
I do.
Triple H. Grayson Waller. You think he won't? You think he won't come back? You think Sean won't say, "Hey, AJ, still kind of need you here. Want to do something with you?"
I guess we'll find out. I don't know. Gallows and Anderson just don't. They've been away for so long. Like, I'll wait and see what happens, like we always do. But they don't really move the needle for me. I mean, their entire run in WWE has not been good. Right?
It hasn't been. But again, let's think about the previous regime that was booking them. That has changed here, okay? They have not necessarily had the on-screen benefit of the new creative system, have they?
Okay. Your favorite wrestler also wrestled Obafemi. How'd you feel about that?
I don't know what you do with him anymore. I don't know what you do with him anymore. Like it's been 5 months and it already feels like he needs a gimmick reset.
He needs
This
a
isn't working.
feud. He needs a feud. I need like it just seems like he's wrestling random matches every week. Like what happened to the bear dude?
I don't know.
Exactly. Like
Every every
like
t- every time I hear the name Trey Bearhill, I immediately think John Redcorn from King of the Hill.
yes, of course you do. Of course you do.
It's one of the great Time Magazine named it one of the 100 greatest TV shows of all time. Okay,
I'm not disagreeing with you. I don't
good.
disagree.
Thank you.
But
You
yeah,
used the
like
King of the Hill GIF in the group text today, so yeah.
I did. I
You did.
just don't.
Proud of
It
you.
was last night, but I don't
Oh yeah, never. That's right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like it. Just he's been like you said. He's been up for 5 months, but he has not had a sustained feud with anybody. It just seems like he
Yeah.
wrestles somebody for 2 weeks and then it's done.
It's
Like
like
give
he's lucked into his title shots too.
yeah, and like
Title
meanwhile
opportunities.
Melo and Ilya have been feuding for about a year. Like
Yeah.
why
I'm not
can't
exactly. I'm not exactly excited to see that again.
but like why can't we put him in a feud with like Andre Chase or something or anybody? Like just Joe
I
Gacy.
hate that.
Put him in a feud with Joe Gacy.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Exactly. But like you
Yeah,
have to
I
give him
actually wouldn't hate
something to
that. Yeah.
sustain. I think that's the problem with it is I don't care what he's doing because he's not doing anything.
Speaking of sustaining, Roddy Strong's about to kick Orange Cassidy's head off right now, but he's being saved by
Luchasaurus.
Jake Hager of all people.
Ugh, okay.
Jake Hager saving Orange Cassidy. What's that about? Did I miss something last week?
I don't know. Did Tony Khan
Okay.
just pull a name out of the hat?
I guess. I mean, oh, I know. That's just random.
Okay.
Yeah, no, we're not a watch
It's
long
AEW.
podcast. I don't know why we're doing this. Yeah, but no. So, any final thoughts on NXT?
I don't like the JC Jane storyline, but we'll talk about that another time. 'Cause I
Well,
don't
no.
think you
Give me the
saw
flip
it.
since we got about. I read what happened, so give me your
So
thoughts on
I
it.
can't even remember the chick's name, but now it looks like JC's gonna go like Mean Girls and chase you and leave Thea behind. And I don't, I don't know, I like JC and chase you to kind of be that bad girl kind of person, but uh, I don't like this direction. I kind of like them being like the mixed match team, Thea Hale and JC. Like that was fun.
Yeah, I kind of like the high school mean girl that finally finds a decent friend. And it's like it seems to be working. I think the only other thing that I would add to this is that we hear Thea talk about how this date, and it's funny we're talking about this now. Is Cool Hand Andrew Ruby Soho are on my iPad right now.
God, that is just. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay, but I would have liked to have seen the Valentine's Day vignette. Those are the ones that
Yeah,
WWE tends to excel at, and they just kind of glossed
surprised we
over.
didn't see it.
Yeah, I mean, think about your Lita and Dean Malenko. We saw Mandy Rose and Jimmy Uso back in the
Mandy
day.
Rose and Otis.
Yeah, exactly. Otis, but yeah,
He wasn't Otis. It was Otis.
it's Otis to me.
It's okay.
Anyway, that's all we got on NXT, but we do have a special guest joining us tonight. Again, as we mentioned at the beginning of the show, the first ever Alliance for All Wrestling show is coming up on February 25th, and we wanted to bring in Barbie Boiii to discuss it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring him on into the stream here. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Barbie Boiii. Barbie, how are you?
Good. How are you guys? Hi.
Well,
Fantastic.
hello.
Can you hear us? Can you hear us and see us okay?
Yeah, I can see you guys. Can you see me?
Yeah, we
We
can.
can.
This is my first time using something like this, so
Oh, awesome.
Well,
Wow.
Yeah.
welcome.
thank
Yeah,
you.
no, yeah, this is a pleasure to have you here. So, just a little bit of backstory. So, I first came across your work maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. I had come across a Millennium Pro show on YouTube and
Yeah.
follow your work. And it's super serendipitous that I see the promo flyer for Alliance for All Wrestling. So, it was putting two and two together. Had to have you on. So, thank you so much for joining us.
No, thank you guys so much for having me on here. I didn't have wine, but I guess I'm like very on brand. I have like a pink
There you go.
That's okay.
Like
Yeah, no, that'll
lemonade.
work.
I was like, what do I have in my refrigerator that's quick enough?
He's got
Okay.
Gatorade, so it's okay. It's all right.
Yeah.
Gatorade. Okay, I'll accept that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fighting off an illness, so
Okay.
no alcohol. I was told no alcohol.
You guys stay hydrated, so that's good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's get right on into this. So before we talk about Alliance for All Wrestling, just give us a little bit of backstory. Tell us about some of your earliest memories of pro wrestling and how you got into the business.
Well, I was a child. I watched wrestling since I was a little kid. I think the first year that like really prominent, like 2002 or 2003, was like my first. I think so I was like 9 or 10 years old. So I was a fan since I was a little kid. I used to wear the shirts to school,
Oh, yeah.
and I was so excited.
Yeah.
I went to WrestleMania 21 at the Staples Center when I was
Nice.
6.
Ooh, wow, awesome.
Yeah, and then I did like I went to the Hall of Fame ceremony the day before, and then on the day before that I went to like the House of Blues, and it was like a video game tournament when we were all playing the video game that came out against each other. So yeah, I grew up as a big wrestling fan. So I
Awesome.
always wanted to do it. That was always what I wrote on like my school papers. I was going to be a pro wrestler one day.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I didn't do that for a while. I was a little afraid to do it.
It's okay. It's okay.
And I don't live in an area where this wrestling is. So, like,
who were some of those early favorites that you enjoyed?
I was one of those that I loved all the women wrestlers.
Hmm?
So I know it's very stereotypical, but that's who I loved so much. So I think Trish Stratus was like my very first like big why I wanted to be a wrestler. So I pay respect to her a lot in my matches. So my finisher is the Stratusfaction. So I called it.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, but I loved all the women. I loved Victoria. I loved Tori Wilson, Lita. Pretty much all the girls was what I was really like so drawn to for some reason. But for like the men, I loved the Hardy Boys. I loved RBD. That was always really flexible. So seeing RBD like do the splits and stuff was always so cool because I knew I could do that.
I like it.
So yeah, so mostly the women though, because I think a lot of them they could do like the gymnastics and the splits and stuff that I was able to do. So it was cool to see them do it. A lot of the guys didn't do that kind of move set or style back then, so it was cool to see someone do what I could do.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, and based on the influences you've named, I think we have an idea. But what inspired adapting the Barbie gimmick in 2024 for you?
When I first started wrestling about 7 years ago, I always knew I was gonna be Barbie. That was like I went into wrestling. I want to be Barbie. Like that was always something I just knew from the start for some reason.
Yeah.
I loved Barbie growing up. It was always something that I really enjoyed, and her slogan was that Barbie can be anything. So I was like, oh, that's a great thing to kind of roll with, is that Barbie can be a pro wrestler. So that's what I was inspired by. And for a little bit, when I first started wrestling, I used to copy the other person who I wrestled. So like Barbie, so I mocked them a little bit as a cool kind of gesture. If they were like super one way, I like acted that way, or I walked like them, or I kind of tried to talk like them, or I copied their entrance and stuff like that. Because I was like, oh, Barbie can do whatever she wants. So I kind of used that, I guess.
And that's easy heel heat too.
Yes, it is.
I've never been a heel.
Oh, okay.
I'm always a babyface. I think everyone just was so happy or like laughing, so it was more like comedic, I guess, than more of like a heelish thing. I'm a very natural babyface.
Love that.
Very natural. Like I'm always smiling, as you can tell. I'm very bubbly and stuff. So being a babyface is just natural for me.
Yeah. Just comes easy. You should teach that to Eric. Eric's the heel on this show.
You see how he treats me?
I don't know. Maybe you guys are both heels.
No, I'm not a heel. I'm the nicest guy you will ever meet.
Oh yeah. It really seems like it right now.
So we kind of got into your background a little bit. Tell us about this new promotion and tell us how it got started. Tell us why you wanted to start it and what you got coming up.
Yeah, I wanted to do it for a long time. There was some personal stuff that happened in my life outside of the wrestling world that I had to slow things down a bit in wrestling as well. So I kind of waited for a while for things to kind of clear up and start fresh again. And I wanted to create like a safe space for a lot of people because I've experienced some non-LGBT friendly stuff in wrestling before. And I just see how women were treated or people of color were treated. And so I wanted to kind of create a safe space in wrestling for everyone. And so I was like, you know what, this is the perfect time to just kind of go for it, like rip the Band-Aid off and create a promotion that represents the people of color or women and the LGBT community, but also represents the straight allies who were there who support us. And I know I wouldn't be anything in wrestling without the straight allies and mentors that I had who didn't treat me like I didn't belong or I wasn't equal just because I was a gay. And so I wanted to create a promotion that represented all of that. Hopefully get everyone from other places and other cities and states to kind of create this second family of wrestling. Because life is already hard as it is, so let's not make wrestling harder.
Yeah, yeah. And before we talk about the card itself, you know, just kind of to dovetail on that point, what advice would you give to promoters or any aspiring promoters? What can they do to make their organizations more inclusive for people?
You know, that's tough because I'm just starting. You know, I haven't even had my first show yet, but I think for me, like if you're gonna do something, you have to like really go for it and stand behind what you're gonna do and what you mean and your values and your morals. And I think it's important to bring everyone into a wrestling community. You know, wrestling has a lot of fans and people of all different cultures and backgrounds and sexual orientations. So like, don't exclude anyone or just have one. Trying to keep it all aligned. And that's what I call Alliance Brawl. I really want to be about everyone involved. The fans, the wrestlers, the ring crew, everyone. Like we all belong. We all love wrestling for some sort of reason. So might as well do it together. So if you're running a promotion, I don't know, try to make everyone happy, but like respect everyone. Don't see anyone different because they're not a male or they're not straight or anything.
I know you said you're not a heel, but I'll say it. Pretty much what you're saying is don't be an asshole.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. Like wrestling's already a tough industry to be in. There's already the shit talking. There's already the group chats you're not a part of. There's already the everything. There's so much backstabbing and shit talking and all this stuff. So like might as well be nice to each other. You know, I'm very big on like you only get to do this once that we know it. So and wrestling, you never know when it could be over. Like for Shotzi, you know, like she got hurt. Just like that. 8 months, 9 months out. You never know what could happen. So like don't be mean or be an asshole to one another. You never know what's going on behind the scenes either. I'm very big on that. I was going through traumatic personal stuff outside of wrestling. So when I went to wrestling, that was my escape. I didn't have to be who I was. I could be part of it. So just be nice to one another.
Yeah, I wish everybody on the internet would follow that advice. You know, that's kind of what we're trying to do here is just be positive. Like we all enjoy wrestling for one thing or another. Like can we just like wrestling? It's fine. It's okay. It's okay to like wrestling. It's okay to like other companies. It's okay. Just try to create a positive environment.
And it's okay to not like something either. It's just you don't necessarily need to go out of your way to make somebody feel unnecessarily shitty about whatever your opinion might be.
It's just or if someone's wrestling isn't your kind of wrestling that you like or etc. Like it doesn't matter. You know, like that's okay to have your opinion, but doesn't mean you aren't nice to them.
Yeah.
So
because here's the thing: is like, would you say it in front of their face? Like, because I guarantee everyone that talks shit online would definitely not say it to any wrestler's face.
I mean, we all do it, you know, like we all are guilty of it. We've all have said mean things behind someone's back. Like we all have done it, you know, we all can't act like we haven't. But, you know, I'm trying to create a spot where when people come into this show, they never have to worry about anything like that.
That's awesome.
So
love that.
Thank you.
So as far as first-time promoter, what have been some of the hurdles or pitfalls unique to starting a promotion, booking your first show that people may not realize come with it?
I don't know. I think it's like you have so many ideas in your head and so many dream matchups and storylines, all these things that you want to accomplish. But I had to remember, it's like, I'm going to have hopefully more, you know? So I can't throw all my eggs in the one basket in this one show. And it was like, oh, I want to book this person, but I don't know what about this person. Like, it was so stressful about who to book for the first show and who I wanted and what I wanted it to represent. So that was very stressful because I didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings at all. I even apologized to certain people who I saw. I was like, I'm so sorry. It's nothing personal. I just have so many people that I want to like bring on. So, but I do like having like a lot of people reach out to me after to be part of the show. So it's nice because I'm gonna do my best to have each show like have some regulars. like a regular kind of roster, but bring in new people from all around. So I'm really hoping to do that. But it is a struggle. There's so many great talent out there.
Sure.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, let's go ahead and get right on into it. Tell us about the card
Yeah.
that you have lined up for this first show.
I have 7 matches, which I'm very excited for. It was hard to pick how many to have for like the first show, because I was like, what do I do? But yeah, I have some good ones. I have a scramble. I have a 6-man tag, a tag match, a fatal 4-way, singles matches. I try to have a variety of different kinds of matches, so it wasn't all the same thing. But it is hard because I had to bring in way more people. So I think my scramble has 7 people.
Okay.
A little bit more. Usually it's about 6. But I was like, screw it. Why does it matter?
Love that.
Exactly.
Love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did you go about finding the talent that you knew you wanted to have on this first card? Was the reactions to everybody hearing a new promotion? What was some of the feedback that you're getting as you're reaching out?
Well, because I kind of kept it a secret. I didn't announce the show until I had everything booked already. So that was like not awkward, but it was like, hey, I'm going to start this promotion that's going to be this February 29th, the leap year day. And I gave them all like my speech or like my spiel of what I wanted my show to represent. And so everyone was so respectful and everyone said yes. I think I only had 2 people who couldn't do it who were already booked that day who really wanted to be part of it, but they couldn't. So that's how I went about it. I just said, this is what I'm doing. This is my idea. I would love to be part of it. And they all said yes. And then I was like, oh, wait. Now I have so many people. Where do I put everyone? And I had a few ideas of what matches I kind of wanted. But everything else, I was like, I'm just going to kind of figure it out along the way. And it was fun to figure things out. A little stressful, but it was nice.
Love that.
Good stress.
So, yeah.
If there's such a thing, good stress.
Good stress. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. Yes, I was calling Melo every day. It's like, girl, help me. I'm stressed out. It's 2 more months away. It's like now it's 6 weeks away. Now I don't know, but now it's almost pretty much a week away now. Tomorrow.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, thank you.
So do you have any championships planned for this, or where do you see this going? What is your goal for Alliance for All Wrestling?
Yeah, I definitely see titles coming along the way. I just wanted the first show to be like, look at these amazing talent of different kinds of people of color and women, LGBT representation. And I believe I have an LGBT representation every single match, which I'm very proud of. But yeah, there is titles I want to bring in along the way, like a main championship. I want to have a women's championship, a tag team. I really want it to be fun and special and create great stories. And I'm hoping I can run a show every other month or so, every 2 months, which would be nice. Just kind of bring in new people. And I like the anticipation of people waiting a month or so to be like, oh, I can't wait for the next show. I wonder who's going to be on this one, or like the storylines I'm going to try to bring on. So I just want it to be fun and like a different kind of environment when the fans come in. It's going to be a lot of pink everywhere, which is not really normal for a wrestling show. I guess I'm going to try to have like a pink decorated ring, and like my bathrooms and like the building are all going to be pink soap and pink trash bags and
love it.
Glitter and perfume, and just kind of like a very Barbie-esque dream house I want people to walk into with a little bit of violence.
Right? Violent Barbie. Yeah, that's
yeah.
Right
yeah.
Any logistical issues with booking the arena or anything like that? Or did all that go pretty smoothly?
Very smooth. I was very fortunate because I'm actually running it out of the MPW building.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I didn't really. That's my home.
Yeah.
So it's just more of me redecorating. That's like my biggest one, because the building I was already there. And I thought about going somewhere else, but I was like, no, this is my first show. This is my home. Let's do it here. Let's see how this can work and kind of see. I would like a different building at some point, but like I said, for the first show, being at like where my home was and where I trained at and where I started and like all my battles and stuff, it's gonna be cool to kind of see it come full circle and be there. But just taking all the black decorations down.
Yeah, because I mean that arena, it's such a fun, intimate space that, especially when you brighten it up, that aesthetically that's gonna look really cool.
Yeah, thank you. I'm trying. I'm gonna add pink lights and like a lot of pink, pretty much. That's really what I'm doing, is just trying to make it like just bright and colorful, so fans can be like, "Oh wow, this really is Barbie Boii's dream."
Love that.
There's gonna be people fighting. Might as well have some fun with it. So yeah, that was the only thing that just redecorating. The building is very smooth, so it's nice. We're on top of a rock climbing building. Which is also very interesting, is that we're not like its own venue. So when you walk in, you have to walk in through a rock climbing indoor building. So it is funny when people are rock climbing and you just see me walk in with like my pink suitcase.
Yeah.
And like my little Barbie shirt. I'm like, hi. So like, we're just resting upstairs. So I'm hoping that brings in some more different kind of fans who are like, what's going on up there? Because they can hear us. They hear the everything slamming.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of the interesting part about the MPW arena.
All right. Well, who's jumping off the rock wall on the first show then?
That'd be crazy. We're above that.
It's okay. You know, have a little street fight, falls count anywhere. You know,
go down the stairs. We have there's like 3 or 4 flights of stairs. That'd be a crazy bump.
That. Yeah,
that's a crazy spot.
That'd be like a falls count anywhere, and then just like, okay, we're going to the rock climbing. That would suck for the fans because they cannot go down there.
That's fair.
The rock climbers would be like, these people are crazy upstairs.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Because if they don't know there's nothing upstairs, they just hear slamming and screaming. So they probably are so confused going on about it.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Love that. Well, Barbie Boiii, it was a pleasure to have a chat with you. We are, congratulations on this event. We're not done yet.
We have a guest.
He's not. Oh, that's right.
We have a guest, and we have an ongoing debate on this show. Okay. You're not allowed to skip this.
I'm sorry. No,
should I just hang up? Should I just leave before?
No. We actually really need you here for this. Yeah. No.
We have an ongoing debate that we ask every guest on our show. When you think Mr. WrestleMania, is it Shawn Michaels or is it The Undertaker?
Take wisely.
In what way? Because I feel like
any way you want.
Yeah, no. However,
when you think WrestleMania,
Mr.
Michaels,
WrestleMania,
Undertaker.
Okay, to be very honest with you, as soon as you said Mr. WrestleMania, my first instinct before you gave me options was Shawn Michaels. But then when you gave me options, I was like, shit.
Uh-oh.
That's okay.
But now I don't know. I feel like one of you is 1, and the other one's 1%.
Oh yeah,
so
100%.
It's an ongoing debate. We just, I think it's a question that merits some discussion. So there's no right or wrong answer. This is just for glory between the.
This is your opinion.
Yes, that's it.
Shawn Michaels.
Damn it.
I think. Okay, hear me out. I think it's because Shawn Michaels is just like that character that fits the title of Mr. If that makes sense.
Okay.
Like, it's more charismatic.
Yeah.
So that's what I think of first when it comes to wrestling. Undertaker is obviously it's Undertaker at WrestleMania, but when I think of like Mr. WrestleMania, my first instinct is to go to Shawn Michaels.
Hey, and I always say, I will not argue a good argument. I will say you're wrong, but I will not argue a good argument.
I thought you said you were like super nice and not like a heel.
Well, that was before you disagreed with me.
Everything that he said up until then, complete jackassery. That's it.
No, I just know that I'm always right. But when you disagree, that's when
I love that. Well, who's Mrs. WrestleMania?
That would be for me, and a guest said it the other day, is Bianca Belair.
I love that for you.
Yeah, that's a great. That's a great question.
You might have to start adding that in.
No, you're right. I agree.
Women need representation.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, and I mean, especially because when you look at the history of women's wrestling, especially in WWE, the moments that they have at WrestleMania, they have been filler, they have been afterthoughts, but only within the last 7 to 8, 9, 10 years have we actually seen things happen. I don't know. I'm going to throw out an honorable mention, even though she's definitely going to be signing with AEW in 3 weeks. I'm going to throw out Sasha out there.
Sasha?
I'm a stan, so that's it.
I have to say Trish, but that's just me being biased.
Trish and Mickey, that's a good answer too. That's one of my favorite women's title matches at WrestleMania for sure.
And I was also there when she faced Christy Hemme at WrestleMania 21.
That's right.
I have a soft spot for that Playboy push story, but also when she slapped Chris Jericho.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when she slapped Mr. McMahon.
Yep.
Those are all great moments. But I guess a newer generation will be very hard for me to pick.
Yeah, I mean, you could throw Bianca in that conversation. Obviously, she's undefeated at WrestleMania, and I think that's going to be a storyline point leading up to the show for whatever her program's going to be. I would say, realistically, keep her undefeated one more year and get Bianca Rhea at 41.
So you like when people are undefeated at WrestleMania? Good to know.
You know what?
Okay. All right. Hey, just
so now you have to start asking guests who Mr. and Mrs. WrestleMania are.
We're gonna add that in.
This is the Mr. and Mrs.
Just give me a little shout out.
Just give me a
little shout out.
Yeah. Right? That's what we'll do from now on. And
yeah.
That's perfect.
And I'll be like, who are the answers? No, I could decide this answer incorrect.
Love that. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Before we let you go, final logistical details. Where can people get tickets? Where can they find you on social media? Let everybody know what's going on the 29th.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram under the _Barbie_Boiii, and then from there you can find the Alliance for All Wrestling account. Tickets are available out the door. So please, everyone, come check it out. It's gonna be super fun. All of my matches are first-time matchups. A lot of intergender wrestling. A lot of big representation. So please come check it out. Come support all these fun and interesting talent from all around coming to this one little safe, fun place.
Love that. Well, thank you so much once again for joining us. This was a wonderful conversation. We cannot wait to see what you guys do next. Stick around for a couple of seconds after we go off air here. But for Barbie Boiii, for the podcast, you've had the podcast daddy up there for the last 42 minutes, really?
I have. It's going to keep changing. It's going to keep changing, too. Let's get ready.
I was super into it.
Yeah, he's
see,
like the thing is, this is a new daddy phase for him. So it's like he's just if we're talking like the last 4 hours that you've now decided to embrace this, but good for you. We appreciate it.
You give off that energy with the hoodie on and the Gatorade, and that very slow staring blink.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
if you don't
and the fact that I'm a shoot dad, so I'm allowed.
Yeah, he is. That is. I support it. 100%.
I'm not gonna inflate the egos.
It's gonna get bigger and bigger now. Get ready.
No, it's not.
I support 100%.
Okay. Well,
you're back on my good side. Good job.
Thank God. That's all I was waiting for. That's all I needed.
Well, it was a pleasure to enjoy Wind Down Wednesday with you both. Thank you once again. Everybody make sure to hit that QR code in the top left corner. Like, share, subscribe. Help us to run those numbers. Support our merch store. We've got great interviews dropping this week. There will be our official Elimination Chamber preview show coming tomorrow. Corey Brennan of Fightful will be joining us, as well as King Chris. So I will let the Chris's battle it out for supremacy, whatever. But for Barbie Boiii, for the podcast, Yachty, I'm Mr. Cincinnati, and this has been the Wrestling Junkie Podcast. I'll talk to you guys soon. I couldn't do it.